Straight ahead on 12 News, a push to preserve history in Golden Valley. Then lots and lots of unwanted holiday leftovers.
There's a lot of things we can do to recycle certain things.
And how those leftovers can get new life in Brooklyn Park. But first, an iPad invasion in the Wayzata School District. 12 News starts right now. Soon, students in the Wayzata School District will have a new learning tool at their fingertips. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Johnson.
And I'm Shannon Slatton. This week, staff will start handing out district-issued iPads to 6th graders. The district tells our Renee Bonneau the device will cater to each student's unique needs.
Go ahead and write what's on the board.
For this group assignment at Central Middle School, technology is a key team member. In some classes, students are using shared iPads for certain projects, but soon each of these middle schoolers will get one of their own.
It's very interesting to see what kids can do with access to a lot of different information, with access to different applications, and how learning can kind of come alive with those type of materials at their fingertips.
Starting this week, the Wayzata School District will distribute iPads to its 6th through 8th graders. The students will use them for classwork, tests, and homework. The district says the device will help students learn at their own pace.
We know that students are at different rates in their learning and that they don't all start at the same place or are at the same place at any one time. And so part of our task is how do you personalize the experience for each and every student. And as a part of that, the iPad provides a tool to help meet some of those challenges that are associated with personalized education.
Some parents and critics might be concerned that students are downloading and playing games and other applications on their device, but the district says that's not necessarily a bad thing.
To lock down the device, it's one way to go, and there are districts and places who say this is what you're going to get and you can only do these things. Our view of that was it also kind of limits it a little bit. I think, from my view, play is part of learning.
District officials say while the iPad isn't meant to replace textbooks and whiteboards, they are excited for kids to expand their learning beyond the classroom walls.
And that device really gives them access to the world. It's like a window to the world.
In Plymouth, Renee Bonneau, 12 News.
The goal is for all students in the district to have an iPad by the fall of 2014. The students don't have to pay for the iPads, however, they will if the device is lost or damaged. Each iPad costs the district about $380.
Charges are pending against the driver of a stolen car who led police on a 14-mile high-speed chase. It started early Thursday morning in a Brooklyn Center parking lot where police spotted 2 people in a stolen car. When officers tried to stop the car, the driver took off and police followed on a chase that went from 694 to Highway 169. Speeds reached 80 to 100 miles an hour, and it ended at Minnetonka Boulevard, where a state patrol officer used stop sticks to puncture the car's tires. The Golden Valley Police continue to investigate a robbery that occurred New Year's Day at a gas station. The robbery at the BP gas station on Boone Avenue occurred about 11:30 New Year's night. As we went to air, no arrests had been made.
111 steps is a short distance, but those 111 steps will provide a very big change to the city of Robbinsdale. Just a short distance south of the popular Travail restaurant, demolition will occur to build a brand new Travail restaurant. One 2-story building and the 1-story building next to it will come down. Those buildings have been around since 1927. Demolition is expected to begin in early spring. Travail hopes to have its new building ready to go by August. The Robbinsdale Economic Development Authority is chipping in $300,000 to make the project happen. That money will get paid back to the city over time. And what will happen to Travail's current building? The city hopes another new restaurant will move in.
A thunderous applause echoed throughout Robbinsdale City Hall on Wednesday night. It was a warm welcome for the city's new mayor. Regan Murphy was sworn in along with council members Bill Blonigan and Dan Rogan. Murphy replaces Mike Holtz, who retired after serving 16 years as Robbinsdale mayor. One of Murphy's first duties as mayor, he and the council approved a proclamation declaring January 28th Mayor Holtz Day.
It was a Hall of Fame moment in Golden Valley Wednesday night. Now on display at Golden Valley City Hall, you will find a plaque that lists 5 names that helped put Golden Valley on the map. The list includes Don Byerly, who opened the very first Byerly's grocery store in Golden Valley; Gleason Glover, who dedicated his life to fighting racial injustice; Philip Brunel, who spent 17 years directing the Minnesota Opera and was a regular on Garrison Keillor's A Prairie Home Companion; Robert Provost, a distinguished World War II Navy pilot, and Betty Crocker, who, yes, was never a real person, but became a cultural icon of the kitchen. The Golden Valley Historical Society has a plethora of information about their most remarkable residents.
But they don't have a place to display it. Most of the memorabilia is stuffed in closets and in the basement of the Historical Society and can only be brought out on special occasions. A new donation could change that. Don Anderson pledged to match $100,000 worth of donations made to the Historical Society this upcoming year. All the money raised will go toward reaching a $250,000 goal for a new museum that would be attached to the back of the current building.
It's going to give us the space and the square footage to do some of these really fun and exciting things that capture the imagination of the people of Golden Valley and give them a chance to better understand and appreciate their own history.
I was thinking that perhaps maybe if we provided enough seed money that people would say, hey, it's workable, we can do it. And of course, we believe that they can.
The Historical Society will be accepting donations all year. They already have a building design donated by architect and former council member Bob Schaefer. Coming up, a holiday collection that shouldn't go to waste.
Reporter Delane Cleveland offers post-Christmas recycling 101 up next. Then later in sports, the boys basketball teams at Maple Grove and Champlin Park are making some noise.
But first, it's a check of your AccuWeather forecast.
Well, the holidays have come and gone, but chances are you still have decorative lights, old wrapping paper, and Christmas cards around the house.
Yeah, it tends to pile up after a while, but many of those items can be recycled. Delane Cleveland has a rundown of what you should know.
When they built this, they did the right thing, so let's put it that way.
Situated along Jefferson Highway in Brooklyn Park is a final resting place for electronic gadgets of days gone by.
And those old TVs don't mean anything, you know.
Earl Johnston is part of a constant stream of people ridding themselves of out-of-date technology.
This was my daughter getting a new television set, and so the old one had to go. So
it's a telltale sign that the holiday season has come to an end.
It's obvious that household waste increases over the holidays, but what you may not know is that it increases by as much as 25%.
There's a lot of things we can do to recycle certain things.
Certain things, according to Hennepin County officials, which include Christmas lights, unwanted media, and of course, electronics.
People get a lot of new electronics for the holidays, so we want to make sure they're bringing in their old electronics and disposing of those so they can be recycled.
But for every bulky TV, holiday light, and ode to Neil Diamond that fall into the recyclables category, Lisa Reckinger says other holiday items do not.
These are just some examples of cards. So this card's got, quite a bit of glitter on it and some ribbon. So that's not going to be very easily recyclable.
Same goes for certain types of wrapping paper.
So this is your typical wrapping paper. This is the paper that's pretty saturated with dyes, pretty low quality paper. Same with your typical tissue paper.
Those are the materials that you won't find people unloading at the Brooklyn Park drop-off site. But people still find plenty of things that qualify.
Because that's one thing you don't need as you get older is more stuff.
In Brooklyn Park, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
And for a complete list of what you can recycle, just go to our website, 12.tv. Well, coming up, a Park Center student's words of advice for others to achieve their dreams.
But first in sports, pro angler Terry Tuma has some words of wisdom for ice fishermen. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back.
John Jacobson now with sports, and Maple Grove boys basketball not off to a good start earlier in the season, but you can't argue very much with the last few games.
Kind of hit their stride now, and a big game coming up Friday night for the Crimson too. The Maple Grove boys basketball team has a record of just 5-3, but their record looks a lot better when you consider the Crimson has won 5 straight games after losing its first 3. Here's Jason Malillo with more.
Maple Grove relied too much on the three-pointer to start the season.
You can't live and die by the three.
So the Crimson diversified its offense and has won 5 straight games.
For sure in the first 3 games, like if you just look at our stats, we really lived or died by the 3, and it didn't work out well at all. So we really went back to the chalkboard and see if we can try to get inside more. Some more plays we got into our offense, and I think overall we're just taking smarter shots.
We're definitely trying to work into our post and attack the basket more, get more points in the paint so we don't have to rely on our shots in case they're missing. But I mean, we have a lot of good shooters, so we're still going to shoot.
Maple Grove did stumble out of the gate, losing its first 3, but instead of getting frustrated, the team refocused and worked on getting better.
I've noticed with these guys, you know, we dropped those 3 in a row at the beginning of the year, and they didn't hang their heads, they didn't pout, they didn't mope around practice the next day. They got after it again every day.
We didn't just put our heads down and start socking about it. We really just again when we worked harder in practice. We all us players got together and got some goals of what we want for the whole season, and I think we really have come far away from that.
Maple Grove won the Bethel Holiday Tournament last week, beating Cooper in the final. Wins like that, especially in a tournament setting, are helping the Crimson become a more confident team.
We didn't play our best, but we got our win. We started to execute a little better in the tournament, so it was good.
Maple Grove will face its rival Osseo on Friday night. They expect a battle and hopefully to push that win streak to 6 games. Jason Malillo, 12 Sports.
And as Jason mentioned, Maple Grove will host 5th-ranked Osseo on Friday night. Tip-off is scheduled for 8 o'clock as the back end of a girls-boys doubleheader. The other bracket of the Bethel Holiday Tournament was won by Champlin Park. As Jay Wilcox reports, an experienced Rebels squad is playing well heading into the new year.
It never gets old, but winning at holiday time is a bit of a tradition for the Champlin Park boys basketball team.
We came out strong against Minneapolis and beat them, and then we knew we'd have a tough game versus Bloomington, and you know, we won it now, I think 4 years in a row now, so it feels really good, and just keeping that tradition going feels good.
A section finalist a year ago, the Rebels return a strong core from that team. It's an experienced squad with a lot of guys that can get it done on the court.
We've been playing more as a team, getting that extra pass and getting great looks for everybody, not just going one-on-one, and it's more of a team game for us.
You know, our depth has been strong this year. We're able to play 10, 12 guys sometimes and play at a high intensity level on the defensive end.
With neighboring Park Center and Osseo drawing most of the headlines, Champlin Park isn't getting a lot of notice, but they know what they have.
People have kind of been overlooking us, like we're always below them, but I think we can play right up with them. It'll be fun to play Park Center here at home and away. That'll be a nice atmosphere.
People kind of have us under the radar, so I mean, that's fine with us, and you know, we'll just rise up during the playoffs and show everyone what we got.
The Rebels get 1 more shot at Osseo and 2 against Park Center to prove their point. Jay Wilcox, 12 Sports.
The Rebels host Coon Rapids Friday, and our 12 Sports crew will be on hand. You can watch the game live on the web at new.livestream.com/NWCT12. Watch it on Channel 12 Saturday night at 8:30 and 11 p.m. Also, we want to apologize for omitting another local Northwest Suburban Conference boys basketball team from our list of holiday tournament champions. Yesterday on the news, the Armstrong boys won the Edina tournament. Terry Tuma tackles questions about fishing line in this week's Channel 12 ice fishing tip. Here's Terry.
Fishing line, a major question that's asked at seminars and even on the ice. What's poundage of test? And that's usually the first question that's asked. Generally speaking, what we want to utilize when we're putting it on our reels is light line finesse fishing for sunfish and crappies. The bluegills is using 1 pound, 2 pound, and even all the way up to 3 pound test. And here again, it's going to be depending on their mood, how aggressive they are, and obviously the size that they are. But if you have a loose drag system, the correct rod action, you won't have any problem landing a crappie or a bluegill on 1 pound test. And then for walleye fishing, what we're going to want to do, here again, depending on the mood of these fish, tough bite, go to 6 pound, even dropping down to 4 pound. And then bigger fish, aggressive fish, maybe you want to step up to 8. But the rod has to match the poundage of test and line. Now, an angler just asked me, how often should I change line? With monofilament and line, I change personally at least 2 times a year. With your fire line, your braids and so forth, you can change, you know, every other year depending on the usage, how many fish are caught and so forth. These are all factors, but do match the line accordingly to the species. And What is really important is the drag resistance in the water. Heavy line, average 6 to 8 pound test, fishing for finicky bluegills. Those fish will inhale that, they'll feel the drag resistance, blow it out. So that line must match the lure, the jigging actions, and the mood.
Thanks, Terry. A couple big hockey games tonight. Wayzata boys at Benilde and Osseo at Maple Grove. Well, highlights of those and more Friday starting at 4 in the news.
All right. Thanks, John.
Thanks a lot, John. Well, still ahead, something a Park Center student and only a handful of others can say they've accomplished.
We are back in 1 minute. Our standout student this week is a semifinalist in the running for a national scholarship.
Angelique Daly is a senior at Park Center High School and among a select few students in Minnesota still in the running for a Coca-Cola Foundation scholarship.
I just really like orchestra music. I started playing when I was 7.
Angelique Daly plays second chair violin at Park Center and last year surprised the theater department with her singing ability. She landed the lead role in 7 Brides for 7 Brothers on her first try.
I just started musical last year and I actually got the lead role my first year. That was pretty cool.
Music is a passion and not only in school.
This year, she and a bunch of friends of hers got together and they were constantly singing in the music department because they were going out to nursing homes and singing. They just put this together completely on their own, singing in nursing homes for the residents at the holiday time.
Angelique's 3.8 GPA in rigorous IB courses along with community service may play a role in deciding whether she gets the Coca-Cola scholarship worth up to $20,000.
They emailed me and the email said, "Congratulations, you're a semifinalist." And I was like, whoa. It's very happy about that. That was cool.
She is one of just 25 students in Minnesota who made it to the semifinals.
I didn't even know that, but it makes me want to push even harder. I'm determined.
Angelique plans to keep music in her life after high school, but not as a major.
I realize how much of a commitment it would be. I know it would be tough.
So she's decided her major will be business.
I just like the idea of working with consumer trends, and I know that's in marketing and advertising, that kind of thing.
It might be a long way from music, but her orchestra teacher isn't surprised.
She is so smart in so many different ways that she could do whatever she wanted.
Angelique credits her parents and a 6th grade teacher for pushing her to do her best. And her advice for other students:
hard work. You know, that's my advice to anyone younger than me that's coming up, you know, in their senior year. Just push yourself, push yourself.
Angelique is planning to attend Marquette University, and she'll find out about the Coke Scholarship next month. And in addition to putting together a singing group that went out to senior homes, they also put together a little orchestral group that the students worked on, and they also went out to senior homes. So pretty cool.
Good initiative there.
Yeah, really neat. That's it for now. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone.
Community Corners coming up next.